If I asked you to rate your ability to engage in leadership to drive positive change in the development sector on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is terrible and 10 is fantastic, what would you say? To answer this question, we need to have a good understanding of what leadership is, who engages in leadership, and what they do. Drawing on work from the Centre for Creative Leadership, we can define leadership as a process of influence that delivers 3 outcomes. The first is direction, agreeing on what people are trying to achieve together. A genuinely shared vision for a project or initiative. The second is alignment, coordinating people's activities and resources so that they are working together towards the shared vision. The third is commitment, motivating and inspiring people to see the group's success at achieving its shared vision as a personal priority. This is sometimes called the DAC model of leadership. Let me share with you a personal story to illustrate. My interest in leadership started in the 1990s when I was a team leader in a government agency. I was working with a passionate group of people to improve the waterway health in a river basin that was under enormous pressure from rapid urbanisation. This group of people were contributing to a process of influence, in other words, a leadership process to improve the health of the region's waterways and the livelihoods of people who lived there. It was a broad network of people, including politicians, respected scientists, community group champions, government bureaucrats, television presenters, and school students. Collectively, we were delivering direction, alignment, and commitment. In terms of direction, we all shared the Healthy Waterways vision and were clear on what we wanted to achieve. In terms of alignment, we understood our roles. Some important strategies and institutions also helped to coordinate and organise our activities. In terms of commitment, most of us were highly motivated by sustainability-related personal values which were closely aligned to the shared vision. Being a small part of this process was a transformational experience for me that triggered a quest to learn more about leadership. Have you experienced something like this in your work? At this point, you may be wondering whether the concept of leadership needs to be adapted for a global development context. Work by Heather Lynn de Vere, Program Manager of the Developmental Leadership Program in the UK, has explored this question. Her working definition of leadership is consistent with the DAC model and emphasises 4 key points. First, it is a process that a variety of people contribute to. Second, it involves the organisation or mobilisation of people and resources. Third, it needs to be understood and exercised with a sound understanding of the local context. This context includes people with different sources of power, a network of relationships, institutions, and culture. Fourth, it typically involves forming either informal or formal coalitions of people. So, now that we understand what leadership is, what is a leader? Are you a leader? A leader is simply someone who engages in leadership as we've just defined it. We all come to this topic with some implicit culturally ingrained models of what a leader looks like. Sometimes these implicit models act as a barrier for us to see ourselves as a developing leader who has the potential to step up and engage in leadership. For example, when I use the term leader, you might instantly think of someone who's in a position of authority even if they are not engaging in leadership. The term leader has so much baggage associated with it that some leadership specialists avoid the term altogether and simply talk about people who engage in leadership. Remember, leadership is a verb, not a noun. I'd now like you to reflect on 3 questions. 1. Do these definitions of leadership and leader challenge your existing views? 2. If so, do these views need to be reconsidered? 3. What specific attributes, such as skills, knowledge and relationships, could you strengthen to better work with others to engage in leadership in the context of global development? If I now asked you to once more rate your ability to engage in leadership to drive positive change in the development sector on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say? Are you confident in your abilities as a developing leader to build a shared vision, align the resources available to you so that everyone is working in a coordinated manner, and motivate and inspire others to make collective success a personal priority? When we understand leadership this way, most of us realise that we have plenty of work to do to improve our ability to engage in leadership, to be effective leaders.